Alexis on the right and Fabinho in CDM. Yes, I would assume that as well. I'd assume McAllister plays on the left, actually. And then, but Shubelidze can play anywhere. You know, I keep calling them Shubelidze. I love the way we're all so happy about a signing that we barely know how to pronounce his name. Get to Ram now. If it was Kone, it would be Boss. Now a centre-back, that's a decent window. I'm buzzing over this signing. Yes, exactly. It's one more midfielder and a centre-back, and that's pretty much enough perfect window for me. Don't get me wrong. I gave this example to Hussam before. If I starved you for 10 days and then on the 11th day, I brought you a Mahis, you'd be thankful for the Mahis and you'd probably forget about the 10 days that I've just fucking starved you. But you're going to be so grateful, you're not going to care. So the one thing I don't want this to do is, because I've already noticed like FSG people, or FSG inners being a bit more loud. And it's just like, there's still very minimal substance. And if you're trying to do the counterbalance, it's tough. But on this one thing, this is a blemish that goes down on the good list of things that FSG have done. This is a good signing. You know, Shkamadka is getting to work, man. He's getting to work. The McAllister deal was pretty much done. But this one seemed like it came out of nowhere. I've got a theory, chat, and let me know, WRL. This is a deal that's probably been getting done for quite a while, and we just didn't know about it. Does anyone see a correlation in Fabio Carvalho going there? Someone as specific as Carvalho. By the way, he's been linked with Leipzig since the beginning of the summer. So do you think we've just done better at alleviating and quieting down the rumours linked with Szoboszlai? Or do you think that this is something that we had mutually agreed with them a while ago? Because they could be different deals. But I'm just saying, is it something that we didn't know about? Because I mentioned this in my video 2 days ago when David Ornstein brought it up, and I was thinking, you know what? This is the type of signing Liverpool make. Jota out of nowhere, Fabinho out of nowhere. Plenty more examples that I could probably give you. I've got a drink. I don't think I've got a drink. I might need to get an apple juice in a minute because I'm a little bit thirsty. Defo is a correlation between us swapping those two roles and helping them replace them for sure. Johnny, for sure. No doubt in my mind. So I believe it was linked, especially when Carvalho was confirmed, you know what I mean? And obviously Leipzig wanted to buy Carvalho, if you remember correctly. So now we know why they wanted to do that, because they replaced their Cam, but only for a year. So what's going to happen there? Still need more. Happy so far, but need to keep it going. Now, this is the thing. It's like if I have a really good YouTube video, so if I get a video that gets 50k views, what's actually good is to go and build on that momentum and post again the next day and hope that we can get close to them views or even more. And it's the same with Liverpool. Just because we've sorted out one thing and we've covered one area with a plaster, there's still many other areas that we need to cover. So I'm glad that the chat, or at least this one, is on a more sensible playing field. Klopp, that's such a weird way to spell Klopp. Klopp did interrupt an interview with him after they played us in the Champions League. So Klopp clearly liked him for a while. Yeah, you're right, Ashley. I can't get over how you've just spelled Klopp. I understand you. I'm not trying to be a grammatical freak by any means, but that was interesting the way you spelled that. Can we smash those likes? We've got 300 people in the stream early doors, which is amazing. We are going to get through all these comments. Redbout says we got in touch 1 week ago according to big sources. Again, and that could also be a possibility. Maybe we used the Fabio Carvalho loan deal to them as something that we could exercise to get their player, because I think he's been on our radar for a while now, I'm not going to lie. We need another midfielder, a centre-back, and an attacker, really, but we may get one centre-back and centre-mid. But that's it. Don't you agree, James? Yes. I'd even say just a midfielder and a centre-back, and I'm happy, to be honest. I'm surprised Jonathan's asking for more players than me. Nah, I do still think another attacker could be suitable, but I don't think it's super necessary, because Szoboszlai can play there in the front three in the midfield. Harvey can play in the midfield in the front three. So even if you think they're good or not good, there's still options who are getting paid wages. So we need to still have spaces in the squad unless we're going to sell them. No, just a normal transfer. We love finding meaning in everything. Festus, do you think so? So, for instance, if I told you what was going to happen with Luis Suarez when we signed Luis Suarez, or if I told you what was going to happen with Xabi Alonso when we signed Xabi Alonso and the players they would become, do you believe that they are normal transfers? So if you have the belief that this transfer is going to go beyond normality and he's going to be world class, then why can you not have that same energy? So for instance, I'm going to do it again. But it's only because it's the same direct link and it's the most one that you know. So whether the transfer is good or bad, I like to put myself on the front line and say this transfer is going to be good or bad. And then I'm leaving myself in the open fire to be right or wrong. So based on the attributes I've seen, I think he's going to be a great player. He's a great shooter. He's great at dribbling. I think people compare him to De Bruyne. I think he's a better dribbler than De Bruyne. Now, passing and shooting, De Bruyne's elite. So we need years and years and years before we can even start putting him in that conversation in those attributes. But I understand when people compare the two. And I think, I know this is going to sound crazy. I think he can become better. KDB's good. He's very good, in fact. But I don't dispute that. Like, he's one of the good, like maybe top 5 midfielders of all time. And based on the attributes, I think that, like, Szoboszlai or whatever his name is, Dominic, I think he can get there. I don't even know the guy's name, but we can't use the substance of we've never watched them before, or it's just a normal transfer. It's agency, man. It's a player who I could see going to a big team in a couple of years, and if we didn't get him, then only somebody else would have. I don't know, Festus. I think it's a good signing, me. Play Trent in midfield, 100% not happening now. 100 million percent. Who with? I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to the idea of Trent maybe, I don't know, having a go over Fabinho at times, but why would he play CDM when he's got defensive issues? I do still think we need a CDM as well, by the way. I said if we were going to get one more midfielder, it would have to be an offensive one or physical one. But considering we've got him, it kind of means that we have to get one more, and that has to be a CDM. Unless Klopp believes Fabinho and Henderson is good enough, which I'm not going to lie, chat. I don't know if I agree with that sentiment. Or I don't know if I could go into a season fully confident saying, yeah, these are my guys at CDM. AVX says, ideally, we now just need to get Ignacio and Thuram, then we're good. Chat, if we get Ignacio and Thuram, what are we rating this window out of 10? What are we? Because we know we like to bust our loads every 5 years. It's just one of those things. And then the new video comes out and we do it again. And it's annoying. We're degenerates in that sense. Is that we'll let it out all at once, and then years and years and years, it's oh yeah, now it's 90 days, now it's 100 days, then you let it go again. Like, why don't we just stay consistent? We either do it or don't do it. We always leave it too late, and I just wish that we had that consistency when it came to transfers and that same agency every summer. It's mad. Like, when we got to the Champions League final and we lost the Champions League, we went and improved massively. And then now when we finished in the Europa League, we're going out and buying massively. It makes no sense. I have seen a few Leipzig games and highlights, and I am a man who's so excited. Sobo is just class. He is enough for us to compete on. Wait, is he enough for us to compete on all fronts? In my opinion, no. He is potentially a leader in the squad. Yes. Okay, so you believe he could be a leader. You don't know if he's a league winner. I think we're starting to slowly build a team or an 11 that is getting back to a league winning standard. But we need to see these players in action before we come to that conclusion. So we like McAllister and Shobo, and we think they're good, and we're going to keep them going forward. And we like Konate, and we like Jota, and we like Diaz. The newer players, then that means we can start to get hope and excitement over the future. But a lot of these players are still unproven. So until we see all of them collectively, then yeah. But I think Szoboszlai, he will end up being a league winner, whether it's for Liverpool or if he fucks off from us and goes somewhere else. I have a lot of confidence, and I know I'm putting myself on the front line. I'm just a big fan of his attributes, chat. It's stylistically, it's a player that I like. It's a game winner. League winner, I'm not sure. Game winner for sure. For sure. That's a game winner right there. And I don't think he takes away from the system. I only think he enhances it. Kind of like when Oxlade came in. How much money is our left? What do we think? Okay, so chat, get your answers in the comments. How much money? So we've spent 45 million on McAllister. We spent 60 million on Szoboszlai. So combined, that's 105. How much money have we got left, chat? I think we've got 20 to 30 million to work with. No more than 40 million. I'd be gobsmacked if we can spend. That's why I think we'll get a centre-back and that's it. I don't think we'll get a midfielder. I think we're fine with Henderson and Fabinho, which I don't want to go into the negative stuff too early, but, I'm sure you can imagine my feelings on that. 30 million, 30 to 40 million, 60 to 70 million. Oh, I'd love a little 60 to 70 million window. Me, I'm not going to lie to you. I would love a little 60 to 70 million more as well. One more midfielder. Honestly, if we got Thuram and a centre-back with the additions that we've made, I'd rather a proper DM opposed to Thuram. But let's say it was those players as they're most likely linked. Inacio and him. I'd say that gets us into a top 4, a top 3 guaranteed, I think. If we get those, top 3 guaranteed. Possibly even top 2. I still need to see more to win the league. Just even from the experienced players, I need to see them come back before I say, yeah, you're going to be winning league titles next season.